Well, hey, everybody. Where's everybody at this morning? Is it too early? And looks better. That end. I'll use this end first, I guess. How's it going? I know there's somebody in here. I don't see who it is yet. You've not said anything, but hello and welcome to my shop. All the bee traps I made last week I have already sold, and I have an order for some more, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get them batched out this morning if I can. Okay, I'll be right back. I don't have everything I need. Okay, I'm back if anybody's here. If you're just tuning in, we're making some carpenter bee traps. I made some last week and I'm down to my last two, and I've got orders for more than that, so we're going to try to knock them out the best that we can here. Where? We cut them down to length at 5 inches. If I were using a bigger jar, I might make them a little bit bigger, but barring any really bad wood, that gives us about 13 or so, 13, and a little piece left over. That first one's always the hardest to get cut. Mind your ears if you have earbuds in, this will be loud. Okay, that looks good. Best thing to do from this point is to, if you're making a bunch, push that up against your saw blade and set you a stop block right here. Okay. You will end up with a small sliver if you only have a 10-inch miter saw. Okay, that's perfect. That way you don't have to keep measuring. You can just push it up to the block and make your next cut. My stop block's too big. You got to have a stop block small enough that it does not hit your miter saw as it comes down, or it won't cut all the way through. After you do your stop block cut, check your measurement, make sure you're still right. And like I said, if you will have a small little sliver like that, you can cut it off. Sometimes you can break it off. You're better off cutting it off so you don't rip your wood. I do hope everybody's having a good morning this morning. And I see somebody's in chat. Hang on just a second. I'll see who you are. Hey, Razor, how's it going, buddy? You're the first person that's been in today so far. I got an order for some more bee traps yesterday. And I've already sold down to I only have 2 left, so I've got to make some more. So I figured since I was going to be down here anyway, I might as well go live and hang out with you guys while I'm making them. Watch your ears for a minute. And I was tickled to death about getting that order because it was from somebody that bought some last year. The lady bought 3 off of me last year and she wants 3 more. So I have her, my first repeat customer. Yay! That excites me a little bit. I'm doing pretty good. It just tickles me pink that I actually got a repeat customer. Something like carpenter bee traps and bluebird houses, you don't really think about having repeat customers on. I sold 6 to a couple at work and they want 2 more, so that'll be 2 repeat customers technically, but I don't count the people at work since I know them personally as being repeat customers. Whoops. Don't let your miter saw wind up like that, guys. That was a very poor example of me. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have a 12-inch sliding compound miter saw. That would speed things up a little bit more. Hey Razor, do you ever watch Any Strings on Kick? would that still give me enough room to cut it all the way to the front? Because it seems like I might have tried that once before. Let's check it and see. That's gonna make my stop block not stick far enough out. I'm trying to remember. I think I tried that last year. I know I do that with 2x4s when I can't get all the way through, but I'm wanting to say it didn't come all the way to the front for the 4x4, but I can't remember exactly. Okay, stop block's still in good shape. I was just curious because I was looking into it yesterday and they don't even have a woodworking category. They do have a makers and crafters category, but I don't know how well that's going to translate to woodworking or if I could get them to make a new It still left a little sliver, but it actually went all the way through it. Thank you, Razor. That might be a little bit easier, actually. Let's give her a shot here. As long as I make sure I'm not cutting them crooked now. Because that would be about my luck. There we go. Yeah, not near as bad. It's impossible to find a good 4x4 in this town. Every other one was cracked all the way through, and they were all sopping wet, and they were full of knots and busted up and everything. I found this one. It's got a little bit of crack here at the end, but it was still sopping wet. I had it sitting on a moving blanket for a few days with the heater in front of it drying. I was going to let it dry a few more days, but this lady wants these by Thursday, so I've got to go ahead and make. I know this miter saw sure don't like it being as wet as it is. I mean, look at that. And that's supposed to be sold as lumber at a lumber store. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Razor, when I get some extra money, after I get me a drill press, that's going to be the next thing I try to buy is a sliding miter saw, hopefully a 12-inch. I mean, I won't be able to afford a new one, but I could afford a used one. You see the lights flicker there? That's where I think my surge strip's starting to go bad. Everything's making it trip. That crack might not be too bad. I can trim it off just a hair there, maybe. Yeah, I believe that'll be usable. How close did I get it cut? Boy, look at that, right on the line. How many did we end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I seem to remember it being 13 last year. Good God, what a mess. I guess I'll really be putting that shop back to use here after a while. Golly. That's what you call making sawdust right there. I love it. Okay. That DeWalt worked pretty good for you? I've noticed a lot of the woodworking community, that's what they use for their miter style is DeWalt, so. I saw a 10-inch back about this time last year at a pawn shop. It was a dual bevel compound sliding, and it was just $60. I wished I would have went ahead and got it. But I had just quit my job and I was trying to pinch as many pennies as I could at that point. I mean, we're getting ready to get probably laid off now, so I've got to get something going somewhere else now. Just because I don't see much of a different point. They might move us to day, some of us to day shift, and I might be far enough up in seniority to get to be in that list. Because all the temps that work there, I'm the most senior one because I started back in there in November. And all the other temps that have come in there started after I did, so all the ones that were there before me had quit. Yeah, I would definitely like to have a 12-inch, but I do wish I would have got that one that at the time, because it was pretty cheap and would have been better to use than what I have right now. Which, I can't complain about that old miter saw that I've got. I paid $20 for it, and I've been using it for a year and a half now, pretty heavily. Where's everybody at this morning? It's 11:30. I figured everybody'd be here by now. I didn't go live over top of somebody, did I? I didn't notice anybody. But if I can find me a good used 12-inch, I'll definitely get it. I would even get it if it was just a single bevel, because it would still be better cutting bevels with that than it is to have to stand something up on its side and try to cut a bevel that way. Oh, Lord have mercy. $10.30. Oh, I keep forgetting everybody don't live where I live. Getting ready to start singing, and it'll be loud for a few. And just for what this is, just a carpenter bee trap that's going to be hanging up outside anyway. I don't guess it being wet's really going to hurt it any. But, I don't know, it just irks me. Everything's awful loud today. You working on anything right now, Razor? Hey Amy, how's it going? Glad to see you in here. All the bait traps I made the other day, I've only got 2 left, so I had to make some more. I had some more orders. One was a repeat customer. One lady that I sold 3 to last year wanted 3 more, so that tells me I'm doing something right, I guess, anyway. Oh yeah, Razor, I bet you do, man. I'd say I'll bet that is rough on some tires on the wheelchair. I bet it is. This is what I need to find an easier way to do. I don't know if that would really make it any easier or not. I'll just rough sand it. I probably would even have to clamp it. Amy Jo, I didn't go live over top of you, did I? I didn't notice anybody live when I done this. What kind of blades? You planer blades or saw blades or all your blades or? Ah, okay, I got you. How much does it cost to have them? How much does it cost to have your cabinet saw and miter saw blades resharpened? I mean, I don't buy expensive enough blades for it to matter, I don't guess, but. I am beginning to wonder if I would have been better off cutting that first and letting it dry that way. Since it's just little 5-inch pieces, I don't guess they would have worked and cracked and bowed and stuff, but I don't know, I do have questions about that. I do wonder. And I figured that would happen eventually. Oh shit. Space them out some more here. Maybe we won't jump around quite as bad yet. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, if I could find out that it was really low cost, lower than buying cheap blades, I would spring for an expensive blade. I had a really interesting experience last night. When I got off of work and come home, everybody had ordered had got pizza from Little Caesars. And you know, they stick mine in the oven for when I get home, which is what I tell them to do. And I went and got the pizza out of the oven, and when I opened it, it had a card in it. And that just kind of took me by surprise. It says, "You're killing it. I see you being amazing and just want to make sure you know how impressive you are." And then a little personal note, just to let you know we love you and are proud of you, my love. Keep up the good work. Nobody will ever know how much that meant to me right there. I've never experienced something like that before. I was married for 13 years and never heard a "I'm proud of you" or "thank you" or anything like that. And getting that card last night, I'm telling you, that meant the world to me. Nobody will ever know how much that meant. I'm running out of room. I'm going to clear off my bench. Oh, there we go. They're going to hit the floor. Okay. I about got the first sanding done. Yeah, I'm just not real sure about this Hercules sandpaper. Uh-oh. Hell, that might be my only option. How in the hell did I let myself run out of Adrian sandpaper? You're exactly right, Razor. I don't even know if she even realized how much that meant to me. Hell, I sat there holding that card for probably 30 minutes last night. I'm a big old softy, I reckon, but it is what it is. Now, I literally had that damn thing in my hand. Okay. That should not be anywhere else, right here. Okay, I'm losing my damn mind. Pull this back down for a minute. Oh, there you are. I see you now. Thought you could hide from me. Huh. I'm smarter than the average piece of plastic. Hey, Blue, how's it going? Hey, Plywood. You see, I try to put things in certain places. That way I know where they go and I know where they're supposed to be. But I guess that must have fell down during sanding of something and I dropped it. It was stuck between the bench and the wall. I'm just making these bee traps, Blue. Got that order, and I got another order last night from the people at work that bought 6 of them, want 2 more, so I've got to get them made. Yeah, I'm gonna repost that ad after I get these built. I don't want to post it and not have any inventory, you know. One of the guys at work had asked me what a carpenter bee trap was, so I didn't have a picture on my phone for some reason, so I opened up my marketplace and showed him the pictures from my ad, and I noticed it said I had a message waiting, so I went and looked, and she had just messaged me at like 3:27, just like 15 or 20 minutes before I opened it, and said, "Do you still make these?" He's got a busted shoulder razor. He can't really do much right now. He can't use one of his hands, but we're gonna get him there. Razor, was it you that made the flute, or was it Mike? That looked damn nice, I'm telling you. Does it sound good? Okay, let's see. I think that's about right. Oh, I didn't like the way that felt. At all. I don't know if I trust that fence or not now. We'll give it a shot. $250. How long does it take to make one? Okay, let's see what happens here. If you have earbuds in, mind your ears. This is very loud. 4 to 10 hours. Hmm. I believe that's a bit too steep. Oh, hell, that giant there, I can't really tell. Need to shallow that up a little bit. I'm telling you, the lock on that fence is I got way loose. It makes me a little bit nervous. Is that rain or wind? Got to be wind, the sun's shining. Good Lord. I bet we're gonna have some fun storms tonight. Anybody wearing earbuds, mind your ears. It still feels a little bit steep. Come back in a little bit more. Now this is supposed to be lumber that is dried and ready to use, fellas. Look at that. Sopping wet. And it's been down here drying for days. Sorry for the seasickness there, guys. Yeah, Plywood, you definitely want to check out his YouTube channel. Them things are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Watch your ears, guys. I don't know if I want to try to drill them out and then that wet or not. But that's gonna be hell on the drill. We'll give it a shot though. So I took my fence off of the saw the other day when I was getting ready to use it for a glue up station. And something's not right with it since I put it back on. It don't clamp down as tight as it used to. It feels awful loose now. I don't know if something's come unscrewed inside or come loose. I don't know. I ain't never took one apart, so I don't know what I can or cannot do with it. Have you ever took one of these fences apart, plywood or razor? Sorry. Oh. Okay. Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. I appreciate that. I keep my two B-trap drill bits set aside from the rest of them in one of my little organizers on my workbench. That way I've got them and know where they're at. I always drill my bottom hole first and then bring my angled holes up into it. I keep me a piece of tape on this drill bit at 3 inches so I know how deep to go. I try to make things as easy and fluid as possible, as much like an assembly line as I can. That way it's quicker to do. Am I frozen? That was weird. Hell, I can hear something moving around in there. I see a spring, so. Okay, so that is one really long bolt or bolted together to whatever it is. Okay. All right, I believe I get it now. It might help if I actually laid out my holes, mightn't it? But yes, Blue, if you're still in here, I definitely do need to get these listed on Marketplace. I will probably do that tomorrow because I doubt I'll get them finished today. Where the hell's my pencil? Over there. These damn shop gnomes keep stealing all of my stuff. But if you make you a little jig to do your measurements, that makes things so much quicker when you're making a bunch of them. I'm going to try to find a way to clamp them all together so I can do all of my sanding at one time. But that's still going to cause you to have to unclamp and reclamp, so I don't know if that would really save much time or not. Well, this is so wet you can't hardly get a pencil mark on it. I need to clean my shop better than what I do. My entire shop. I even got a shop vac for that purpose. Well, not a shop vac, but the little 5-gallon bucket shop vac converter thingy. And I mean, it works pretty good. It's not as good as an actual shop vac would be, but for the intended purpose, it works just fine. I mean, I should have used it instead of brushing all that in the floor over there a while ago, but I probably should have went ahead and marked the holes on the side too and got it over with, but I got to talking and wasn't paying attention. That is very true, Razor. I wholeheartedly believe that. A clean shop is a sign of a mental disorder. I mean, I don't see a way you could keep a shop clean unless you just, didn't use it. Somebody posted in Daniel's Facebook group the other day a video of this great big, huge, beautiful shop. Did you see that? Because, I mean, there wasn't a speck of sawdust nowhere in that shop. I mean, it was huge. It was like warehouse huge. And I didn't see not one speck of sawdust. So I don't think they use that shop. I think that's just for show. Which, I mean, I guess I can kind of understand having a show shop just for when people want to have a little tour or something, but I don't know. It also feels kind of misleading. If I tour a workshop, I better see sawdust, or if it's a machine shop, metal shavings, stuff to prove that work actually happens there. Yeah, as soon as I seen that, I said, there's no way that they actually use that shop for anything but display. I'm in a basement. I guess you probably figured that out if you've not heard me say it. Or if you've not heard Whacking Shack call me a basement dwelling box troll. Which I guess is kind of fair, but I mean, there's no way I could ever have this basement that clean. It just ain't possible. I mean, for one, this basement will flood occasionally, and I'll have to do something to it, but then after it floods, sawdust on the floor gets wet and turns into some kind of weird super concrete stuff. If you know, you know. Yeah, I will probably not get these done today, but I should get them finished up in the morning. Do you use a marking knife or a pencil razor? I mean, this basement's pretty good size. I'd say I've got about 13 foot of usable space by however wide the house is, probably 25. Can you actually see the mark it makes on the wood? Because I would like to use one, I think, but I don't know if I could even see the mark. Oh, okay. I believe I'll do my layout get my layout marks made on these, and then I'll quit for the day and drill them tomorrow. I'll give them a little bit more time to dry now that they're cut. Olay, how's it going? Well, I don't really haven't done dovetails yet. That's something I do need to give a try, I guess. But as of right now, it's not something that I have done, so I may have to give that a shot here pretty soon. Because I do like the way stuff looks when it's made like that. I've not really used much mortise and tenon joinery either, come to think of it. I mean, I can, but I haven't. I haven't had a need yet. Okay, how did that one not get marked like at all? This is by far the worst part of doing this, is like doing the layout for the holes. When I get me a drill press, I'm going to make me jigs that I can clamp to it. All I got to do is set the traps in it and just drill. That'll cut a little bit more time out. I mean, don't get me wrong, these jigs save me probably 5 or 6 minutes for each trap, because by the time you measure out your marks and mark them with your square and your pencil, that takes a lot of time up. Yeah, I've been staying that way here lately. I usually get a good 2 week break between sinus problems and allergy season starting, but the way the weather's been this year, I just went straight from sinuses to allergies and then right back to sinuses, so I can't catch a break. Yeah, I had a lady message me on a marketplace yesterday, away, and lady I'd sold 3 of these carpenter bee traps to last year, asking for 3 more. So I figured I would go ahead and try to batch some out, because I'm down to my last 2 in inventory. But this 4x4 is completely soaked. It's been in the basement drying with the heater blowing on it for 3 days now, and it's still sopping wet. I mean, I cut one piece of it and there was a bunch of sap and everything on the saw table. Okay, let's see here. Oh, damn it. I can't hold on to shit. But I believe I'll stop after I do the layouts today and give now that they're cut down to 5-inch pieces, maybe they'll dry a little bit better. Give them one more day. I've got to have them done by Thursday, but after I get them laid out, I can drill the holes and stuff in no time. So I should have them done by tomorrow before I go to work. I was kind of hoping that I would get to come home super early from work last night, but it didn't work out that way. So, of course, I don't know how early. I don't know if I want to come home from work real early, since we're going to be off Friday and we don't get holiday pay as a temp. So, even if they offer to let me come home early, I may not. But I will soldier on. I mean, I have a schedule I'm supposed to follow. As far as my woodwork, I'm supposed to 1 week be in the shop Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning from like 10 to 1:30 or 11 to 1:30. And then 1 day every weekend, I'm supposed to spend all day in the shop from like noon till 6 or something to that effect. But with people ordering stuff, I'm going to have to stay down here a little bit more, I guess, for now. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good thing. I know we're getting probably going to get laid off soon, so I'll definitely need the money. And it gets me one step closer to starting my business, and it gives me a chance to go live and talk to you guys a little bit, which I always enjoy. You working on anything right now, Lily? All right, Razor, you have a good day, bud. I'll probably be doing this again tomorrow, finishing these up, so feel free to stop by. My fiance was still asleep when I came down here, so I brought her phone to keep an eye on the chat. She may not like that too much. She's probably awake by now. I've been making a lot of noise. Yeah, these little layout jigs was by far one of the best things I ever made as far as speeding up production. It used to take me forever to measure these and mark the holes, but it don't take no time now. I need to get me, next 4x4 I get, I'm going to cut just one of these and I'm going to see exactly how much time it takes me to make one going through it, doing everything. I know I made one for a video, but you can't really go by that because I was doing a video and that takes up a lot of extra time when you're doing videos. Oh yeah, believe me, I've been there. I've come down here and done a video one day and I know my voice sounded terrible. Of course, I think my voice always sounds terrible, so I can't really tell for sure, but I know it sounded bad. My voice had been coming and going, and I finally just said, you know what, I got to get this done one way or the other, so I might as well get it over with. If anybody really noticed it, they didn't say anything about it in the comments, so. All right, there we go. Got all of my holes laid out now. I'm not going to try to drill that till tomorrow when it's wet. What time is it? 12:30? Yeah, I don't know. I might try to drill the bottom holes anyway. Let's see what happens. Watch your ears, guys. This drill ain't too bad, though. Not as bad as the table saw. Well, it didn't seem like it put too much strain on the drill. It did put a little bit, though. Yeah, you definitely have to speed your production up. Every little second you can get adds up to money eventually when you're making stuff to sell. I don't know, that did bog that grill down a little bit. Autocorrect get you there, Plywood. I know it's hard to type with the same hand you hold your phone, though, so we'll forgive you for that. Your boy Blue is my brother. He started out being my brother-in-law, but I got him in the divorce, so he's now my brother. It tickles me every time I say that. It's fucking hilarious. Mm. Yeah, in my divorce, all I wound up with was Blue and PTSD. Hey, Smallwood, how's it going? I had some more bait trap orders, so I figured I'd come on here and chat with everybody and get as much done to them as I could today. I won't get them done today because this 4x4 is still completely soaked, but after I'm going to drill through these bottom holes and then I'm quitting for the day because this is pretty rough on the drill. I mean, it is under warranty technically, but I just do not have to go to Harbor Freight unless it's absolutely necessary, because if I go in there, I end up spending a bunch of money. Once upon a time, I had to sell tools to buy drugs. And now that I'm in recovery, it turns out it's the other way around. I'm having to do it the opposite way to make money for tools. That was a joke for anybody watching that didn't understand it in the federal government. Yep, that's I'm about to burn this drill up. Seven people. Hell yeah. I must have started too early. I was beginning to think nobody wasn't going to come and hang out with me today. I'll tell you what, I have made a ton of sawdust today. Good Lord. It is everywhere. I will definitely have to clean the shop up this weekend. You're 100% correct, Smallwood. It's starting to get pretty bad. My tape smooth. That didn't feel like 3 inches. I don't know. I'm used to handling 3 inches, and that didn't feel like no 3 inches. Has my tape moved or something? No, it's still 3 inches. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Sometimes I forget you guys are in here. Yeah, Smallwood, I'm aware. I can feel it. It's getting pretty weak, but I believe it's from where this 4x4 is wet. That's why I'm quitting after I drill these bottom holes. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit more. I just gotta get them done by Thursday. Which I should be able to finish them tomorrow. Surely them being cut down to 5-inch pieces, it'll dry out enough to drill the rest of my holes. And if it does burn up, it's got the warranty on it. All I got to do is take it in and get a new one. Be okay on that front. Okay. And hell, I'll just let them sit there for that. I'll put them back into the heater here in a few minutes. And if you guys are wondering, yes, even if I was not live, I would still be talking to myself just like I am right now. I do that. It's just who I am. Okay, let's hang out for a few minutes here. I'll hang out with you till about 1, and then I got to go get ready for work. I'll have to leave a little bit early. I got to stop and get some stuff. Is everybody doing all right today that's in here to talk to yet? I don't think I've missed anybody, but we got 11 people now. Heck yeah. Let's see, I've got 14 blanks here, and I've got 2 over here, and then down to 11. I'll tell you what, Smallwood, though, for a $15 drill, that thing has definitely made its money, for sure. Hey, Old Path, how's it going? Hey, Old Path, have you ever cut a piece of wood so wet that it threw a big spot of sap down on your table saw? Or I guess it was sap, it wasn't completely water. Ooh, I'm lagging out a little bit. I bought this 4x4, supposed to be ready to use. I mean, I knew it was wet some, but it was the only one that wasn't completely busted through and cracked and everything else. And I've had it in the basement on a moving blanket for days with a heater boiling on it. And I thought it was closer to dry than what it is, but now that I've got it cut down and a hole drilled through the middle of them, maybe it'll dry away tonight. Because I got to get at least some of these done by Thursday. The Lowe's in my town has like no competition at all. There's one little place called Builder's Supply, but they're more of a I don't know, generic kind of company where you can get cheaper stuff that's been on closeout and stuff like that. And their lumber is as bad a quality as Lowe's, but still a little bit more expensive. But I believe if a Home Depot would move to Greenville, this Lowe's here would improve their quality a little bit. Because if I go up to the next town where there is a Home Depot and a Lowe's, that Lowe's up there has much better quality lumber than mine does. And that just blows my mind. It's like since there's no competition here, they just send the worst stuff here. Expensive. That is expensive, man. God. But yeah, in the past 2 to 4 years, prices have went way, way up on everything. I'd like to see them come back down. I mean, we do have gardens, so we'll have some of our vegetables will be a little bit cheaper. I need to be building a chicken coop and getting some chickens, but I've just not got around to it yet. After I get me a little bit of inventory up in some bluebird houses, I go ahead and start on one. Of course, by the time I get a coop built, I guess all the chicks will be gone. All right, Smallwood, you have a good day, buddy. Nobody in the house really eats fish but me. I need to start hunting again, but I know Mom won't eat deer, so I don't know how much good that'll feed everybody else though. That would cut out some of the grocery bill anyway if I get back to hunting and fishing like I used to. Is that a week or a month though? That's definitely what I'm going to say when hunting season comes around. I'm hunting to cut the grocery bill. Well, 150 every 3 weeks ain't too bad. I'm in a house with 4 adults and we spend Probably around 600 a month for food, maybe a little bit more. A little bit less in the summer when the veg garden is going good. Yeah, the only place I've really got to hunt's public land here, LA, and people in this town, if they just see a flash of white, worry about if it's a deer. And I know this is true. My father was like that. Is like that, I guess. I haven't talked to him in 20 years now, but see, I know how to use a broom. Sweep everything over to this end anyway. Then I'll sort through it. I'm not really cleaning, I'm just clearing out a spot to set these 4x4s up to dry. Let's see. Point the holes towards here. That way. Separate them some. Guys that are in here, did you get notifications that I was live, or did you just happen to find me? For my subscribers. Oh my Lord. About an hour after I started. Man, YouTube is ridiculous when it comes to that. I started pretty early this morning, like 10 or 10:30, something like that. Earlier than normal. Damn it. There we go. I wish I could find a way to cover them up with that blanket while the heater's running, but I don't feel safe doing that. That would catch fire. Yeah, well, it's pretty bad here as far as hunting on public land goes because, especially being a small, well, the town itself is small, only like 14,000 people or something to that effect, but the county is 75,000 people, or it was the last I looked. It's probably way more now, but and it being a country town, everybody hunts, so public land's pretty overtaken with people. Got somebody in every tree. I would like to come back down and hunt the lake a few more times. That's one thing I miss about living in Morristown when I lived down there, was living that close to the lake, because that was awesome. Okay. That should dry them out good enough. That's it, where the phone go. I try to keep all of my jigs in one little box. That way I can keep up with them. I've got to get some better organizational skills going on. All right, guys, it's 10 after 1. I guess I had better get going so I can get ready for work. I hate to go with all of yous in here, but the job a little bit longer. Me be careful? No. You know better. I might behave, but I'll never be careful. All right, guys. I love y'all. Mean it. Have a good day. I will be back tomorrow to finish these traps.